Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm going to be showing you how to make a GFX using an animation rig. I will have a link in the description of the rig I use. Also make sure that whatever character you're exporting out of Roblox Studio has a blocky body type as well. So what you want to do is you want to click on the faceless Blender file. I use this one instead of using the default because this will make sure that it doesn't have a face added on. Then click Reload Trusted just to get rid of the warning. Now you can see we have just a blank rig, and this is what we'll be using for our model character. Click on the camera icon and scroll down until you see this little button right here. Click on it and make sure you put it on PNG and put it at RGBA, and also click transparent. This will make sure that you don't have any grayness in the background. Then set your render to 1000, set your clamp direct to 5, then set your clamp indirect to 5. These are also very important for quality. Then in light paths, put filter glossy to 1. Now you don't really need to set anything for the rest of these. Then go into your render layers and go down and click denoising. This gets rid of all your noise so you have really nice quality. Then go to the world panel and get rid of that because you don't want to have a background. Then click the corner and scroll down, click on the cube, and then scroll down to node editor. Then right click your rig character and find your image texture, which should be right around the middle. Then click on your X to get rid of that. Then click open and go to your documents and find the PNG texture file of the model that you exported out of Roblox Studio. This will add that model file image texture to your rig. Once you have that, right click your different parts and you can pose it however you want. It might be a little difficult for people who don't really know how to move rig characters, but when you do move them, you want to make sure that you have the little triangle on the outside selected. And to select multiple parts, hold shift. Now that your model is posed, go to your files and import the model from Roblox Studio. Now that you have the model from Roblox Studio, select the hats and the hair and accessories and move them off the model, and then put them onto your animation rig. Then you can just delete the other model. Now that we have our model pose, let's see what it looks like rendered. As you can see, it's all black, so I'll show you what I do to create light. What I do is I press Shift A, scroll up to Mesh, and then click Plane. From here, you can just resize it pressing the S key on your keyboard, or you can click this button here and squash it to the size you want. Click on your material texture, click New, then click Diffuse BSDF and scroll up to Emission. And I usually set mine to 2.5. Then I usually like to duplicate it so I have one on the top. So you press Shift D and basically just pull the panel up above your model's head. Then I can rotate my other light panel and move it to where I want it, which is usually behind the camera. Now I can press Shift D and make another, and then rotate it so that I can have a light panel on the sides. And sometimes if you're trying to press C, you might press just C and it'll put things in wireframe. But then I just move the light panel so it's facing on the sides, and I usually do this so I can have light from all sides. Now as you can see, I have light all around, and sometimes you'll have to adjust it just a little bit, and it's fine if there's light in your framing area when you render it, because we'll be cropping that out later. So now if you click rendered, you can see that we have light now. Go back to material. I'll lower the lighting just a little bit. I think that looks good. So now I will render it. Now that your model is rendered, you can name your file and export it. Now what I usually do is I go and I find where I saved my file, and I just open it up in my photos. And what I do is I just crop out where the lighting was so that it's not in my PNG, and then save it. Now, I already made this background previously, and I will leave a link in the description of what video I watched and how to do it. So, find your file, and then click on Edit, and then Free Transform. Now hold the Shift key down as you size your image. When you finish moving your GFX around, click anywhere and press OK. And voila! Your GFX is now complete. Now you can save your GFX as a JPEG and name it whatever you want. And I usually bump the quality to 100 before I save it. And that is how I make my GFXs. I hope this tutorial helped you guys and some of your questions that you've had on how I make my GFXs. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Take a trip to my